Welcome back. Mail-In Podcast. I'm your host, Brett Merriman. To my right, lovely Sally deFries. Sally, how are you doing ahead of the final mail-in episode before Thanksgiving?
Oh, yeah, I realized we won't have one next week because Thursday is Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Thursday's Thanksgiving, which I guess breaking news here. You invited me to Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you're coming to our family Thanksgiving.
The Jung family Thanksgiving, and I'm coming. I can't wait. I'm so excited. Thank you.
We're going to talk Thanksgiving later in the episode, so we can save our takes for that.
Thought I would lead off with that. You're wearing a very nice Thanksgiving-esque sweater. Oatmeal could be it could be tan, camel, perhaps.
I think it's a camel situation.
Okay. I'm not gonna. Yeah.
Forecast is looking good.
Oh, like cool, like chilly enough to wear.
It's going to be 66.
Okay, we can work with that.
But it's going to be cool in the morning, which I like. Are you going to run the turkey trot?
Heck no. I'm going to be hungover.
Austin does 5 miles.
That's too many. If 5K, perfect. 5 miles.
5 miles is a lot, and the last mile of it is like uphill. So you're
God. Are you running the turkey trot?
No.
Okay.
Will thinks he's going to do it. There's
no chance.
There's a kid one that's like 1 mile.
Okay.
And I think Lily and I are going to let the boys do that and like bring our babies and walk it and let them like run/walk.
There you go.
Get a little energy out.
I love that. Yeah, get it out because it's going to be it's a big day for the kids.
I do like
dogs.
the thought of a turkey trot. I've only done it once. I regretted it. I've never run 5 miles consecutively in my life. Ever.
Yeah, I don't think
I'm
I have
not a
either.
runner, so
she is a track star though.
Thanks. I do. I can't run 5 miles, and it takes too long. Like if it were exactly what you said, if it were 5K, I'd get out there, I'd do it, I'd walk it. But a walking of 5 miles, you're looking at an hour and a half. That's because of like the crowd and stuff. It's just
right. Far too much time invested. Like you have places to be.
Yeah,
you have things to do. There's preparations that need to happen, especially with children.
You can't be out there like just on Mopac, like running.
Right. Yeah, I did the 5K and like I've done one turkey trot in high school, and it was a 5K in Saratoga. It's a really well put on event. It benefits a kid who passed away years ago in Saratoga. It's a really well done event. I did it one time, 5K, and my competitive juices kind of took over. So I was like, I started to jog, and I was like, well, I'm going to beat this fucking kid in front of me. And so I ended up really going way too hard while hungover, and I threw up.
Yeah.
After the turkey trot, which was kind of a low point for me in my Thanksgiving history. And so I kind of vowed at that point never to do one again.
The year that Will and I did it, we were like lined up on the Congress Bridge, like about to go. Will got recognized like 3 times. And it was early on. So we were with like my whole family, and they're like, what the hell's happening? But then my 2 sisters, Natalie and Lily, like take off in front of us because they're runners and they are faster.
Sure.
So they're running, and Natalie absolutely eats shit, like busts both of her knees open, her hand. Like if she happened to do it at the time, my other sister like lived on the route, and they were not very far from her place. So Natalie ran up to her place, like showered off at Emily's, like her knees, and then finished.
Oh my God, no.
And there's just blood like going down her shins.
Oh my God.
I'm like, this is a 5K or a 5 mile like turkey trot. We don't need to.
No.
It's not the Boston Marathon. Like, calm down.
You're not qualified.
So Natalie's legs, like she had like road rash in her freaking knees.
Oh no. No,
and then she couldn't walk.
Once skin is broken, my trot is over. That like same rule applies for a Thanksgiving Day football game that we used to have, like all the high school football players when go back to Saratoga for Thanksgiving. We'd have a little pickup football.
Yeah.
If somebody breaks, if skin is broken, maybe a shoulder dislocated. I got my jaw popped out one year. It was 2-hand touch, but it was like kind of a heavy 2-hand touch. You're done. That's it. It's once an injury happens on Thanksgiving Day, you wrap it up, you go inside, you drink bourbon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna actually suggest that y'all do a little football in my parents' yard.
Oh, I'll bring a ball.
But we're at the age where you're like 2 seconds away from like a torn
It
hammy.
would be funny if, like, one of us pulled a quad pretty good at your parents' house,
But that's
and
like
your
where
mom's like, "Oh, do you need ice? Like, is there?" And, like, everybody's like, "No, no, no, like, I'm fine," but you can't walk or twists an ankle pretty good.
I'm gonna just be straight with you.
Yeah.
My mom is not gonna be motherly like that. She's gonna totally ignore you and maybe offer you alcohol.
Okay.
My dad will be the one doing
Ah,
it.
okay.
Yeah.
Your dad's like, "Hey, you gotta elevate this,
Yeah,
man.
no,
It's"
he'll be the one doctoring because he's a doctor, and my
Yeah.
mom, who is a nurse, will totally ignore it and tell you to
Rub some dirt on it.
yeah, exactly.
Here's again, a bourbon. Yeah, I will bring a football just in case anybody wants to
We should
get
have one
after
out
it.
there, but who knows?
Yeah,
It's
we'll have one
probably
out
very
there.
old
Yeah.
and deflated, so
Okay.
maybe bring one.
We'll figure it out. We are the Mail-In Podcast. We answer your questions, and we're gonna help you out this week. Please hit the hotline number 888-362-MAIL. That is 888-362-6245. Or you can write in at the link in the Twitter bio at Mail-In Podcast. It's also in the description of this episode. Watch us on YouTube. Randy's a big YouTube guy. Watch us in 6K over at youtube.com/mail-in podcast. And that being said, Sally, you want to get after it?
Yeah, you want me to start?
Sure.
Okay. Any advice on enjoying the bigger moments in life and not stressing over / worrying about them? For example, buying a house and getting married. I want to fully enjoy these times, but find it hard not to get caught up in the stress.
I was thinking about this question a lot. And I think it's because when you have an event like that, a huge event, buying a house, getting married, going to college, like these gigantic things, a lot of the time you end up thinking about these events with a larger timeline than like that day. So you think about the past, you think about the future, you
Uh-huh.
think about the unknown, you think about the debt, you think about what happened to get you there. It becomes very overwhelming. And I think what I try to do, there's sort of a question later on that I get to on this is take that 24-hour window and just keep it that. Like you don't have don't you have to be proud or accomplished or just give yourself room to not stress about what it means for you 6 months from now and what it
Right.
meant for you 6 months ago. Like getting married, enjoy that 24-hour window and be present. And I think the more you're present on the big life moments and the more you can string together those days of being present, the less overwhelming a giant chunk of time or money or whatever becomes. Just breaking it down into slices
Mhm.
and going about it that way. So the more you can slice and compartmentalize, I guess, the more these gigantic things are not going to stress you out or cause anxiety or cause some sort of reaction where you can't enjoy it. And I
Yeah.
think that's probably my initial advice.
Do people enjoy buying houses?
Well,
Is that a non-stress free
I
event?
think no, I think it's
Is that a joyful
I
event
think
for
it's
people?
joyful and then it's like an accomplishment or
Accomplishment?
like there's
Okay.
there's a sense of we did it. Like we did what we were supposed to do at 30 plus or 20 plus,
Okay.
whatever it might be. I think there's a sense of like, hey, we did the American dream. Ho hum.
I think maybe for me, who's a pretty highly anxious person and someone who's really type A and likes to plan stuff, I'm
Mhm.
I'm the person who gets stressed about all my big life events.
Sure.
Um, so as I think my advice is more just like anecdotal in the fact that I think I spend a lot of time building up these moments in my mind, and mine is like always the anticipatory stress and
Mhm.
like anxiety and constant thinking about it, excitement, etc. Same thing about like going on a big trip.
Sure.
Or
Yeah.
a great example was my C-section when we had Charlie. And because it was like my second time around and I could plan it, I really like stressed about making sure everything went right.
Sure.
And then it happens. It was a great experience, but like I don't even remember half that day. Uh and I think most of my big events are like that. Like but the birth of both my sons, my wedding, uh
Mhm.
like Will proposing, all of those things. And I mean, Will proposing was a totally different situation. I had no lead up to that.
Right.
Graduating, grad school, all of those things that I thought about, I don't even remember. And it's like the after part that I have enjoyed, if that
Sure.
makes
Yeah,
sense.
the
So I
afterglow.
think for people who are really like anxiety driven and type A and like to plan and stuff like that, it's don't beat yourself up for stressing because that's just your personality.
Mhm.
And know that, like, when you accomplish these things or you have big moments in your life, it's not the end of the world if you don't remember everything. And if you haven't, like, you take pictures and you want to relive the memories, that's great. But like, you don't have to have every single second of your wedding memorized.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I stressed a lot after Fritz was born because I remembered none of it.
Mhm.
Like, and part of that was how he was born and that it wasn't planned and things like that. So, and I would get really anxious about it that I couldn't remember it. And then I was like, why am I stressed about this? Like, I have a perfect baby. We're happy. Like,
Yeah.
he's healthy. And if I don't remember every moment of the birth, like, his whole life is ahead of him and I get to experience all that with him.
Totally.
So I think for some people, for like, especially for me, who spend all this time like anticipating things, just know that, like, the after part is the part you get to enjoy. I think that we lose sight of that a lot with, like, weddings
Sure.
or, like, my graduation. All I cared about was, like, getting to that end goal. And then you're like, the best part is that you're married after, but people have totally lose sight of that because 'cause they're so caught up in the planning of it.
Mhm.
And I'm not telling you to not care about the planning of it, but also afterwards, if you didn't soak it all up, don't feel guilty because also no one who's walking around in their everyday life is thinking about the joy that they had on their wedding on a daily basis. Like, you have the afterglow where you, like, post everything to Instagram and you're, like, shoving your, honeymoon pictures down everyone's throats.
Mhm.
But then after that, like, it you if I came in here and talked about my wedding every day of my life, you would be like, "You gotta get a life." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I
And, like,
gotcha.
and how much I enjoyed it and things like that. So, like, yes, there's memories, we wanna remember them, we wanna enjoy it in the moment, but a lot of
Mhm.
it is, like, how you choose to portray it for yourself, like you said. Like, if you can't if it's hard for you to be present, know that you can afterwards, like, look back on it and be like, "I had a great time." You don't have to be in the middle of it, be like, "I'm having a great time, like, this
I'm
is
so present
amazing.
right now.
I'm present and I'm having so much fun and this is the best day of my life." A lot of people, if you, like, look back and think about, like, some of the best days of your life,
Mhm.
most people that I know are probably not gonna answer with the big moments. They're gonna be, like, small things where they just, like, let go of the stress, and
Mhm.
we're not wired to, like, have these huge moments and not stress after them,
Totally.
you
Or
know?
before I mean, I'll kind of finish, I think on this one with like, I'm batting 1,000 in the buildup to whatever big event or hard conversation or hard time. The
Yeah,
buildup being either worse or more stressful than actually the day of or going through
right.
it, right? And I mean, that's just a personality thing. And I'm sure we'll continue to do that, but I'm just
Yeah,
saying anecdotally, batting 1,000 on it being less stressful, easier, um, more like sort of an anxiety reliever going
yeah,
through it or it happening. Um, and so I think it's just don't let the buildup ruin the day of
yeah.
or the house
Or the
purchase
guilt
or
because
the
you
yeah.
didn't enjoy it as much as you thought you should have.
Yeah, and don't think of your mortgage as like, "Oh, I'm hundreds of thousands of dollars in a hole right now." It's like, "Yeah, but you now have a place to create memories and a home, and, like,
Mhm.
now you have stability." And so there for all these stressors and cons, there's obviously the pros that come with it. Enjoy the pros because the cons loom larger, but they don't fe they aren't larger.
Yeah,
How about Prize Picks, Sally? Good friends
of the pod.
of the pod.
Oh, yeah.
They are the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. They're the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports, just you against the numbers. Instead of battling thousands of other players, including pros and sharks, didn't know sharks could play online like gambling things.
I didn't know. I don't think they have opposable thumbs, so I don't think
They just have fins. You pick more or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. With the basketball season here, you can now pick combo projections across football and basketball from the Specials League, a league created specifically for combo projections that includes 2 or more players from different sports or leagues. For example, Randy, LeBron James and Travis Kelce at a 10.5 combo of 3-pointers made plus receptions. How about that? That's a pretty good one. I'd take the over there. LeBron makes 3 threes, and Travis Kelce has eight receptions. Winner.
Wow.
PrizePicks even offers a reboot policy so that your entries stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. For football and basketball games, if you have a player who exits the game in the first half and does not return in the second, that player is rebooted. PrizePicks is the only daily fantasy sports platform with an injury insurance policy. Can't beat that. I'm a big fan of the PrizePicks NFL stuff. It just makes it easy. Makes everything extremely easy. It's over-unders. That's all you're doing. Not trying to win like the lineup situation. Just boom, more than, less than. Here we go. So here's the deal. Go to prizepicks.com/mail and use code MAIL for a first deposit match up to $100. That's go to prizepicks.com/mail and use code MAIL for a first deposit match up to $100. PrizePicks, daily fantasy sports made easy. Hey guys, welcome back, Sally. Welcome back,
Thanks.
Sally.
Yeah.
Do either of you have road rage, and how do you handle bad drivers?
Do you have road rage?
I don't have road rage. I have road, like I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Okay.
I'm like a fatherly driver.
Okay.
I'm just like, really? Like who taught you that? Who do I need to talk to about your upbringing that you just did that on the road?
Yeah.
I'm a road principal.
Okay. I don't have road rage because I think most people would probably classify me as a bad driver.
I've heard something about your blinkers before.
We have talked about this. I
Yeah.
just don't use blinkers.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
Okay. To be fair, I
be
do
fair.
now, like I would say 80% of the time.
Okay.
When I have my children in the car.
We've made improvements.
Yeah.
When other lives
I
are in your
got
hands.
roasted for that. I was just kind of like, I mean, people see me merging. Like it is what it is.
Randy not happy.
Randy's very unhappy. No, honestly, a lot of the reason I use blinkers now, not that I wasn't using them. I mean, okay. I use them now because I got shit on so much for not using them, but also because my car, when I use blinkers, like alerts me if someone's in my blind spot, which is a really nice
Boop, boop, boop.
safety feature.
Of course. That is very nice to have that little yellow light. Like,
Right.
oh, don't have to like
Don't
crane my neck
pop
and-
over.
yeah.
Before crash somebody. You know who has road rage?
Will deFries?
Will deFries has road
Yeah,
rage.
there we go. I like it. I like seeing Will get fired up like
He
that.
gets fired up. Like I can't even, like, probably every day we're on the phone while he's
Really?
driving home, or I'm in the car with him, and he like gets so pissed at something someone does.
Oh shit.
I think in general, probably because the drivers in Austin are not great. And
No,
if you
very
add
bad.
any
Very
sort
bad.
of moisture onto the road, like
Ugh.
whether it's snowing or raining or even like a cloud in the sky, people absolutely lose their ability to like use their judgment.
It's insane. These Southerners, Randy, they
See, I trust, public schools and stuff to educate, but like seeing Texas drivers and Austin drivers, I might be like, my future children, you're not going to driver's ed because I don't trust them, what they're teaching.
Okay, but
Texas
that's
I would
not a
agree.
fair assumption because most of the people who are driving in Austin right now did not grow up in Austin and learn how to drive in Austin.
Transplants,
all
you're
the people
saying?
I see in Dallas and Houston too. It's the same stuff.
Houston might have worse drivers than Austin. It's a combination of wide, like there's in Texas, highways tend to be 2-lane situation at minimum. Many highways have like 10 lanes, especially in Houston.
Yeah.
And there's an aggression factor that that a lot of drivers have that I'm not used to. There's like upstate New York and New Jersey, people have speed there, but here is aggressive. It's like you're on the attack. Or it's the opposite side of the spectrum. It's overly defensive. Some like
Yeah.
aunt who's going under the speed limit. When they ask how do you handle bad drivers, I give like a disappointed. That's you shouldn't be doing that. I really think it's more dangerous to go slower on the highway than it is
Yeah, I
faster
agree.
because you're causing decisions to be made versus making them on. Like
Yeah.
there's just a dynamic there. So I go by the mantra: be the change you wish to see in the world.
So you just are being a good driver.
Yes, I am on
And
purpose.
you think people on the road are like looking at you and being like, that
I'm
guy in the
like, look
Jeep
at
is a
this
great
fucking guy.
driver.
This dude
I'm gonna
instituted the zipper.
follow
Yes.
his
This dude instituted the zipper policy on a merge situation. This dude, when my biggest driving pet peeve is when it's a crowded parking lot. Austin has many parking lots that are like far too small for the services or products that they're
Yeah.
serving. Um, and somebody gets in their car, like at Terry Blatch, for example, and sits there.
Yeah, you gotta get out.
Get
You
out.
gotta get out.
Get out. Literally get in, get out, be tactical. So when I'm backing out of a parking spot, I've done my business. I'm getting back into my car, leaving the premises. That button goes on, and I'm going backwards in about 3 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm checking my boundaries, boop, boop, zoop, in and out. And when somebody
Yeah.
sits there and sits on their phone and writes a Facebook status and checks, I cannot stand it. Cannot
Yeah.
stand it. The other one, the other biggest pet peeve of mine, and this is the total lack of awareness is this is a pretty chalk answer. When somebody's in the left lane and going far too slow, like
Mhm.
holding up the flow of traffic, um, being passed on their right, you gotta know you gotta know better. You gotta know
Yeah.
better. You gotta dive out of there. Get out of there. You're not ready for the show.
Yeah, that's a big pet peeve of mine. I would say I'm I don't think I'm a bad driver. Okay. I'm a pretty good driver.
Okay.
I don't use
Okay.
blinkers.
I've never driven with you or been in your presence, so I can't confirm or deny that.
I'm an amazing parker. We have gone over this.
Nice.
Yeah. I can back into any spot.
There you go.
Any spot.
Parallel too?
Yeah, I'm a great
There you
parallel
go.
parker.
Okay.
The thing is that I think that I just have I- in a world where I'm very impatient about everything,
Mhm.
driving, I kind of just don't let shit get to me. There are times that I like honk my horn, and that I think growing up, going to driver's ed in Texas, maybe it's because people are like trying to all be nice to each other. I never really used my horn a lot. I definitely use
Yeah.
my horn way more now. Just because I think the
Mhm.
landscape has changed from when I was like 16 to now, where people, if somebody's sitting at a light on their phone,
Yeah.
you gotta
Oh yeah.
give them a
You give
horn.
them a courtesy, like "Ding."
Yeah.
It's not a burn, it's a
No,
"Ding."
it's a hey, look up.
Yep.
Just to keep things moving. And so I'm not afraid of that anymore. Whereas I feel like I used to be like, oh shit, I don't want to like honk at them.
Mhm.
So I don't really let things bother me. Will is the opposite.
Yeah.
Will somebody will cut Will off and it will like piss him off and he'll
Set 'em a
come home and
torch.
just be
Flame.
like so upset.
I love that.
Or
I love
like
that.
Will straight up has flipped people off like probably recently.
Hell
Like
yeah,
I don't
Will.
know that I've ever flipped somebody off on the road. Like ever.
It reminds me, I do have one.
But Will pass people who are going too slow or like
Oh,
pissed
yeah.
him off and he will give them the full blown stare down.
Really? Full blown
And I'm
finger
kind of like,
flip.
I mean, what? Okay, they know that they were wrong.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, they should feel bad about that. There needs to be a way. Like I if I'm really mad at somebody, I'll just be kind of on my steering wheel and fire like imaginary sidewinder missiles at them via fake trigger.
I do the flash, like,
Oh yeah.
I put my brights on
The
at
one
people.
situation where I do truly, and this is recent and kind of unique to Texas in my opinion, when you're in the or when you're getting into the suicide lane to turn
Mhm.
into like turn left and you don't get over fast enough into the middle or you slow down and you leave your butt end in the
Uh-huh.
lane that I'm currently driving in,
Yeah.
I think about ramming full speed into the back of your car. Like my intrusive thought gets to the point where I'm like, well, would it be that bad if I just totaled this person's car out of purely to teach them a lesson?
That is my biggest pet peeve right now going.
Yeah.
It's just like
It's South
left lane,
Lamar right here.
South Lamar's
is
bad.
that they take the last second to get over. You have the whole lane to merge over and then slow down when you're in that lane, but they decide to slow down, then get over at the last second into the turn lane. It's like, no, the whole lane's there to slow down. You merge and then you slow down.
They brake heavily in the current lane. You should be merging into the middle, the suicide lane, whatever like the 2-lane in the middle.
The left lane that you're turning left in at the speed that you're regularly traveling.
Go get into that sucker, pull in like your Sally parked in the whip, and then slow down. If you're hitting the brakes before you're merging left into the middle lane, just know I have fired an imaginary missile at you.
I saw a bad one on South Lamar where they didn't even get in that lane. They just decided to stop in the left lane and then turn across that lane to go left.
Happened to me with a Tesla today. They definitely realized they were supposed to turn, slammed on the brakes. Half of the car was sticking. I mean, it was almost arguably worse than just turning from the left lane. And they have been neutralized virtually by my missiles.
That's how you handle bad drivers.
I shoot imaginary missiles.
I just assume everyone on the road is a terrible driver, and I don't drive defensively. I just drive knowing that anyone at any time is going to merge or turn with not using a blinker in front of me, and just I'm prepared at this point.
Yeah. I drive with my head on a swivel because I know what's going down.
Yep.
Next one.
Yeah, I'm kind of oblivious, so I just kind of not oblivious. I just kind of don't care.
Think about where the butt end of your car is next time you.
Okay, I'm not that person. Okay. If anything, I'm the person who's probably tailgating people accidentally.
Oh, I do that just on
because people are like getting over, and I'm like, have you ever like been driving? Sorry, we'll finish this question, but like, have you ever been driving and you're not on like a 2-lane road, you're just like on a 1-1, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I like this probably happened to me a couple months ago. Two cars pulled over on the shoulder and let me pass them.
Oh yeah. And
I was like, am I really driving that fast? Like I'm like they're like.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I'm going like the speed limit. Like these people are just like, I'm way too close to them that they're just pulling over, and I'm like,
yeah. Oh,
shoving it up their ass. Apparently, like
yeah. I like what's the bumper sticker? If you're gonna ride my ass, at least pull my hair.
Yeah.
That's a solid, just like, hey, tip of the cap.
That's me apparently. And I don't realize it until it happens, and I'm like, oh shit, am I just like tailgating this person? But I never feel like I'm actually tailgating.
Mm-hmm. No, I get it. I'm a tailgater.
Okay. Sorry. Next one. Hey, mail and crew. I'm single and recently moved into a new apartment in a new city. While grabbing my mail, I noticed a cute girl struggling with a heavy box and offered to help her. We chit-chat on the way up to her room, and I learn her name, where she's from, etc. The next morning, I run into her bringing the empty box to the dumpster, and we start talking again and catch the elevator up to our floor together and go our separate ways. I definitely feel a bit of a connection, but one problem, I didn't get her number. What's my play here? I found her IG with a simple search by her first name in our apartment directory. Do I follow her and DM, or would that come off as creepy? Do I leave a little note on her door from the guy who helped her with the dresser, or do I just patiently wait and hope to strike up some luck again as we cross paths again soon?
Okay, so we're doing meet cutes.
We've answered one like this before.
Oh yeah. Randy had a very quick reaction to this.
I think the leaving the note on the door is somehow less creepy than going and trying to search her name when you never got it in this situation.
I agree.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
Because you know where she lives because you helped her.
Yeah. I was gonna go the Instagram route, I think.
No.
Like if you know her full name, it's like Melanie Davis.
But you didn't know that before, and she knows that you didn't know it, so that it means that you like went searching for her, and it's kind of
okay. I know. I see where you're coming.
Where this one's like,
I see where you're coming.
You know where her apartment is because you walked into her apartment with her.
Yeah.
Presumably.
Okay.
I agree. I think that the last time we answered a question like this, like maybe they met in the mailroom or something like that, I was like, you just go knock on her door, or leave a note, or like.
What is the note? What is the goal of the note, though? I guess if you're gonna leave a note, hey, I'm Brett in 5301. Like, what's your number? Like, do you want to go out and have a?
You leave your number and you let her text you.
Okay.
And that
Just
way,
say, hey, figure this is easier than the mailroom.
yeah,
Blah, 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 blah.
because I mean, you could do the Instagram route. I don't know if
No,
somebody's gonna be like, "Oh,
yeah.
that's so creepy," because at this day and age, like we can all figure out how to like find someone on Instagram.
Sure.
Let's be serious. If you wait around, that's too risky.
I do something about like, okay, first time is the meet, second time is like the chit chat. Third time, do you just if fate brings you together for a third time, does that give you credence to do a little bit of a longer like chat, like the dog park kind of chat where you're getting into like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and
Well,
then
yeah,
you
if
go
you
from
meet a
there?
third time, you were already considering getting her number, you ask her then.
Okay.
I think if you are worried about doing option A or B, then you wait for option C, which is meeting her, and you give yourself like a week deadline. If you don't
Mhm.
see her,
Then leave a note kind of thing.
yeah.
Okay.
But then
and
you
with
could
the-
argue. Then you could argue like maybe has too much time passed. Like maybe you should
It's
leave
true.
the note now when you're fresh on her mind. You know.
Goal next time seeing her or with a note. Riddle me this. Are you inviting her are you asking her out for a drink or a coffee and not just like, hey, here's my number, and just like, hey, what are you gonna say? Like I guess, are you giving your number with the idea like, hey, want to grab a coffee? Yes, no, maybe, here's my number. Kind of
Yeah.
thing. You're giving her something to respond to versus just being like, hey, text me and let it go from there. I think you want to give her something to work with.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
You don't have to like be like, "Are you free Thursday?" But you
Yeah.
could say like, "Would love to
Would love to grab
take you to coffee or
yeah.
a drink. Here's
would
my
lo-
number."
Would love to help you move another package, or if
Yeah.
a coffee sounds better, let's do that.
I mean,
Okay.
if you know her
Okay.
name, go commit mail fraud, find her mail and take it to her door and be like, "This came to my apartment accidentally."
Wow. Pull the old accidental
Yeah. That's not creepy at all.
hey, super weird. No
Stand
idea how this
outside of
happened.
your apartment for 24 hours
Give the
until the
mailman-
UPS guy comes,
Give him
bribe
a
him
$20 bill and then
for
take.
Sarah's packages,
Yeah.
and then be like, "Oh,
Or-
weirdly, these got delivered to my house."
Here's the answer. Order something to her door by accident. Get an Amazon package that goes to her door, and then she brings it to your place.
Well, what if she doesn't know what your apartment is?
Oh,
You
yeah.
know? I guess if you
Okay,
know,
you know what? Big flaw in my plan. Let's go back to
well,
plan
okay,
A.
but you could if your packages are getting delivered at your door and not like in the mailroom, but it sounds like they're in the mailroom.
Mhm.
You could drop off an Amazon package at her doorstep that's actually to you. And then
Yeah.
she's like, "Oh, this is Brett in 305. I gotta go."
Okay, so you leave your address,
And then
your real
shockingly,
address, and then it goes
you
to her
open
place.
the door and you've already made a batch of espresso martinis and you invite her inside. Like,
Whoa, do you know what? Like, do you want to? It's already poured. I mean, like, I was gonna do this thing, and it like,
my
the thing
Christmas
in-
tree's up and I have a fire going. Do you want to come in? It's like exactly like, "Baby, it's cold outside. Just pop in here."
the thing in the
Hey.
oven. Oh shit! Well, I
Hey.
guess we have to share.
And here's the thing: what you ordered was 2 espresso martini glasses. So you
Wow.
ordered it up, like,
Wow.
oh, perfect. You're
Wow.
here for it.
And you just open it up. And
Should
you're
we
like,
write a
what are
rom
the
com? I know
chances of
Brett
this?
likes to write scripts. So
I'll write this. I got a couple I'm percolating right now.
No, I think the
like
note
this.
is fine.
Yeah.
Just stick to
let's
the
just
note.
keep it simple and write it
Okay,
down.
maybe fourth time as you get a little creative with the mail.
Sure.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Maybe get her something from Roback.
You order your Roback package to her place.
Exactly. Roback.
I wonder if we could get them to facilitate that.
I think we could. I
Yeah.
think we can make something happen. If you need, let me know. And you need a Roback situation, we'll get it going. As long as you promise to Instagram and tweet and all that stuff about it.
Yeah.
No free ads. But Roback is the best. They are half of my wardrobe, pretty much, between their polos, their hoodies, which my Saturday morning, 95% of the time, you're going to find me in Roback joggers and a Roback hoodie, walk into the store to get a coffee, a bagel, or set up whatever lunch I'm doing for that day. I love it. I'm actually wearing, look at these.
Wow.
You see the
Yep. I see it. Uh-huh.
Roback joggers that's live on air.
Yeah.
And they're doing a sale, Sally. You may be familiar with the Washed Media new customer sale at Roback. What if I told you What if I told you that you don't have to be a new customer anymore?
Oh,
Now through Monday, 11/27, that's Cyber Monday,
okay.
all customers are getting 20% off the entire store.
This is huge. I'm
Don't have
gonna
to be a new
alert my
customer.
mother immediately.
Exactly. You don't have to be a first timer. You could have bought many a Roback, and they're giving you the deal.
Can you get the Wilmont's pillow still?
You certainly can.
Wow. Huge.
All you have to do to get 20% off the entire website, regardless of your previous ordering history, is go to roback.com/backer20. Again, it's not a code, it's a URL, a custom URL. So here you go. Roback, RHOBACK.com/backer20, now through Monday, November 27th. Capiche?
Capiche.
Roback, they're the best. Roback.com/backer20. Next one, Sal. Hey, Brett and Sally. Love the pod. We kind of discussed this earlier, but here we go. Tips on not obsessing about documenting everything my daughter does. I love the old home videos that our parents took of us in this day and age. I want to do the same. I have a 1.5-year-old and find myself worrying about constant photos and videos whenever we do anything instead of living in the moment. This time just goes by so fast, and I just want to make sure I soak it all in. I feel like this is unique. This is a new thing with this generation.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I love our home videos. We have, like, one of my favorites. We have a compilation. It's somewhere, who knows where it is, where we, like, my dad spliced together like every one of our Christmas mornings.
That's
in,
awesome.
Like in
Yeah.
chronological order.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably lost now. Like, who knows? This
It's
is going to
great home
be.
video.
We are living now. Like, our kids. And who knows what technology is going to look like in 20 years. But
Mhm.
because stuff is digital, for the most part, like, storing it is going to be a lot easier. So their access to, like, home videos, pictures, etc.
Oh, of course. And you also have
A cloud.
a camera that's better than
Right.
anything in history,
Right.
more or less in your hand now.
Right. So as a parent, I admittedly am pretty bad about the whole, like, documenting everything. Like, we never did a baby book for Fritz. We definitely won't do one for Charlie. And I feel, like, guilty about that. I'll be like, oh, like, it's been a year. Like, I need to take a picture of Charlie every day, but I don't do
Yeah.
that.
But are they going to care?
And so literally Tuesday,
Mhm.
like, woke up and I was like, I didn't even take a picture of Charlie at 1 month. Like, you do the, like,
Yeah, the
they,
one
like,
on the
had a little
blanket
sticker or
and
whatever.
yeah.
So we have one of those, like, little blackboards with the white letters,
Sure.
the felt thing. And I was like, shit. So I took one of Charlie on Tuesday. He's older than a month by like 2 weeks. And I was like, okay, well, this is going to have to do. You're not going to know the difference.
Mhm.
I try to get big stuff like that. Not big stuff. I will every time we did with Fritz, like, this is stupid. Why are we even doing this? And then the only time we used them was at his first birthday party.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Uh,
if you want to do it for your parents, that's I don't
Right.
know. I am trying to be the change I wish to see in the world.
uh-huh.
If I go to a concert, if I go to a sporting event, it's just so it's demoralizing to look around when somebody's putting or teeing off and everybody's just doing this and, like, watching an event through their phone. And I'm actively, like, phone in pocket, trying to soak things in, trying to
Right.
create a memory, because you're never, like, if you have 35 videos from a concert or the PGA Championship or whatever, it's just you're never gonna go, like, sit down, look back for every second of footage. So I think I have, like, a rule of one. Like, you get one pic of this scene or one pic of
Uh-huh.
this concert or one, like, get the thing, put your phone away and enjoy it. And if you want to take a pic with somebody, that's different than just being
Right.
like, here, I'm documenting, like, the 40-second swing on the tee box at 1 at Oak Hill. Like,
Yeah.
I just
I
don't
totally
know.
agree with that stance
Yeah.
because I think you get exactly what you said. You get one picture or 10-second video to, like, prove on Instagram stories
Boom,
that
there's
you
your
were there.
moment. Right. Then enjoy
But
it.
we were at the John Mayer concert a couple weeks ago. I'm not kidding. People are
The whole
and, like,
concert.
we're, like, sitting down because it's, like, a
Yeah, a little
chill.
chill,
He's, like,
yeah.
doing his acoustic thing. The guy in front of us filmed the whole thing on his phone.
Whole thing.
And I'm like, are
thing.
you going back and watching this? Like,
It happened to us too. I wanted to be like, dude, what are you
concert
doing?
videos are terrible.
Yes. Ugh.
As I've been cleaning out my phone this year, in the year of our Lord, I will see that I took concert videos like, basically, I think I explained this to you. Every day, I like search like November 16th, and then I go through all.
Oh, your November 16th.
Yeah, and then
That's
clear
fun.
them out. And so I do it every day so that it's less overwhelming than like. Although the new Apple update like kind of fucked me on that. You can't do it by date anymore.
Oh, that's annoying.
So you have to do it by month, and it's a lot more pictures. But
okay.
like maybe a month ago, found that I like took a bunch of videos at a Drake Vegas concert. I'm like, have I ever looked at these ever again? No, I haven't, because it's horrible quality. You can't hear shit. It's far away. So for things like that, not having to do with your kids, absolutely, like be in the moment. You're like, you look so stupid filming a concert, you guys.
Having
like
30 little story dots at the top of your
it's so
profile.
embarrassing.
Come on,
like
come on,
also any like maybe not the small shows, but like stuff like the Eras tour is gonna have a film of it. Like we live in an age now where you don't have to film it because someone else is already filming it. So let that person be the one to film it and find it on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube. Like you look so stupid with your fucking phone up, like filming the entire Blink-182 concert dude in front of me. Anyway, when it comes to kids though, it's a different story because it's like you want them to have memories, okay? And like you want them to be able to see this stuff. Couple things that I would say, and Will and I are like we rarely are like, we need to film Fritz or Charlie doing this. There are certain moments like when we introduced Fritz to Charlie that we had someone film. We'll probably film, Fritz and Charlie like opening up presents or something.
Sure.
Whatever. A lot of that is because we are going to send that to somebody. So you're already probably doing some of the like big moments anyway, because you're going to like send a text to your parents showing them that. Yeah. So let that kind of drive you. Like if it's a memory that you're like, oh, I like want to show my mom this, or like, oh, this would be like, I like a lot of the pictures that I take of my kids is me texting to Will being like, look what they're doing. This is hilarious. But I don't stress out over the fact that like I haven't taken a picture of them every day, or like this year Fritz didn't even like take first day of school pictures. Like he is never going to look at that and be like, oh, like this is where I was on first grade. Like there are things that are nice, but at the same time, like we get overwhelmed because we live in a social media / Pinterest era where people make you feel guilty because you didn't document your kid's life in this way and like get them this beautiful book and like take a picture every single day for a year. And like maybe that's great for some people, but if you forget to do it, it's not the end of the world. Like take pictures when you want to, or videos when you want to, because your kid's doing something funny or being cute, or you just want a memory. Like honestly, the other day Will was reading to Fritz and I was like, this is really sweet. I'm going to film it. Just because I thought about it. Sure. But that's like one bedtime out of the like hundreds we have.
Yeah.
So don't stress out if not everything is recorded. They don't need to see everything. They just want little snippets the same way that you do. Like,
exactly. You want like, if you have, when you grow up and you're just like, hey kid, look at my 10,000 memories of you I have. They're going to look at 7 and be like, cool.
And we have more than any other generation because we have Instagram and stuff. Like Fritz could go to my Instagram now and that's a great recap of his life. Like
exactly.
So I think we don't need to, it's really easy to get caught up in like what other parents are doing. This is a great example. Do you know what Elf on the Shelf is?
I know what it is. I've never been an Elf on the Shelf family.
Okay. I mean, none of us were, because it didn't exist until like probably 2000, I don't know, 7 or something. Like, so we were too old for that. I now think that I don't even know if it's still popular, but like somebody asked me if I was going to get one for Fritz, and I was like, no. But I remember a bunch of like my coworkers lamenting the fact that like they have to do this damn Elf on the Shelf thing. But you have an elf, it goes back and reports your behavior to Santa, and then you move it throughout the house to prove at night that the elf has like moved and gone back to Santa.
Went back up to the North Pole, came back. Yep.
Enter Pinterest. Okay. People are just like moving it around. They're putting it on the the mantle. They're putting it on the couch. They're putting it wherever. They're not doing anything special.
Okay.
They're just moving him around.
And
Then
then like,
Pinterest came out and people were like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to overcomplicate this. And I'm going to make a whole fucking scene where the elf has like accidentally gotten into a bag of marshmallows and like has a winter wonderland like layout art project on our kitchen counter with the marshmallows and the cookies and the. No one has time for that. Okay. If you do, good on you. Maybe volunteer some of your time to charity, because everyone else has like a job and like also caring for their children and like also still trying to brush their teeth in the morning.
yeah.
We don't have time to like do a full throttle. So I think that's an example of like because we are watching what other parents are doing, it makes us feel guilty about ourselves and we're not, I mean, in general, every situation, because we're watching what other people are doing on social media, we feel guilty for not having the same thing, not doing the same thing, not taking the perfect, vacation photo. You got to let that go. You got to take the photos of your daughter that are important to you, that you want, and don't stress out that you didn't get her first haircut, her first,
Because who are you doing it for?
right. You and your daughter. And like your daughter may look back and be like, okay, you never got my first haircut, but like here's this hilarious picture of me like wearing your high heels and like tromping around the house.
Exactly.
And those are the photos that we have. Like, I mean, we did have the Christmas morning, but like the pictures
Christmas
that you
morning is awesome. Like that's
right.
different.
That's like you're
Once
already
a
filming
year,
that.
boom,
But
boom,
like the childhood photos, like you posted the picture of like you and your dad and fishing.
Mhm.
Like guarantee when that picture was taken, no one's sitting there like directing it, being like, okay, well, we're going fishing. You're gonna get over there. Like it was just a candid moment, and like probably has no significance to like whatever the day was or whatever it was. It's just a great photo.
Zero. And and that's a cool one to look upon. But I guess where I kind of feel myself landing on this is live your life and capture memories as if you're working with like a Polaroid Kodak camera. Like you got those 23 little shots and you got to be like, you got 23 of them. And not like if you're, I just picture this mom at like her 1-year-old's birthday party with like party favors in one hand and the phone in the other, just did in the whole day.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't need to have 7 hours of commercial free football on your phone.
Right.
That you narrate. Like that's just, you don't need it. You don't need it. It's live it. Like live the memory, live the moment. Keep it upstairs in your head, because if you just keep doing the phone thing, you just create an abundance of insignificance. Right. And it's just then nothing means anything, and
It's
everything
just quantity
is just,
over quality.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Next one.
Yeah. How do you feel about your significant other keeping all pictures and videos of their ex? For context, I recently found out my girlfriend has everything from her prior relationship with a guy she was with for 2 years. She asked me in the past if I saved all my ex's pictures, which I don't because I delete everything during my breakup grieving process. She claims she kept everything on her side because that was part of her life and there's no reason to delete them, which I just find odd. I didn't press her on this and it was never a conflict around it. I definitely don't want to come off as insecure, but it just came up in convo. But surely it's a little weird to have everything saved from a prior relationship, despite how long you were together and have moved on. Maybe it's subjective, but curious to hear your thoughts, especially if Sally's on the episode. Thanks. Love y'all.
Well, lucky for you, Sally is on the episode.
Lucky for you.
I am on team her in this situation. My most recent relationships, I look back on with nothing but like, I don't know, reverence and very happy they happened and kind of good going forward. And so like keeping stuff on my phone or Instagram for that matter, like to me, that's just life. And it's like sort of it's your resume is obviously the wrong word, but it's just, it's like your history, your past. And, I get if something awful happened or there was something that, a cheating situation, or like, or
a
you're
bad
still,
breakup.
A bad breakup. I get that everybody's different here. And some people need to just totally like erase a person from their life in order to move on or get over or whatever it might be. But to me, I just kind of like, I look on it with fondness and learned a lot about myself and kind of have just have it there. I don't go back and like relive every moment. I just have them. I don't see a reason to go back and look through them. I don't see a reason to delete them. I just they're part of life, I guess.
Yeah.
And so I look upon that with like, yeah, it's how it was, or I don't know. I don't see the necessity to delete. If there's like a problem and there's a fight over something, or if it's like nudes, I mean, that would be
Yeah.
weird to keep a partner's like private photos on your phone.
Yeah.
Um, but just moments and memories, I don't see the big deal, I guess.
I think it's going to be different for every person.
I
Here's like
totally agree. Yeah.
my thought process. I totally understand where you're coming from. My hard limits here are like absolutely no nudes.
Oh, that's weird. If you're keeping
You got to
those, that's
delete
weird.
those. That's very uncomfortable. Like,
Yes.
why do you have those? If I found out that someone I was in a relationship with had nudes from their past significant others, I'd be like, goodbye.
Hard no.
This is like how technology has like changed how we do things. Cause 20 years ago, this would have been somebody like keeping a box of like actual hard copy photographs.
Yeah. I guess maybe that does have a little bit of a different connotation.
Right. And so for some reason, the way I like read this was like that she's got them all in a folder, which is like not the case.
It's just your camera roll.
It's just
right?
your
It's like,
camera roll.
yeah.
I
If there's a box or like all of your favorites, or there's a box that's
Right.
like listed like
Eric.
Jessica.
Yeah.
Maybe that's like heart.
That's weird, right? But I think especially I've just mentioned this, going through my camera roll like this past year, I'm like, there is shit on there that like I had no idea was on there. And I'm not gonna
Sure.
like take the time to go back and like delete, I mean, so I haven't had a lot of serious exes.
Okay.
So I take this with a grain of salt, but I'm not going to like go through and delete pictures of people that I like
Mm-hmm.
in the moment, right now, because I'm going through my camera roll and I'm like, oh, here's a picture of me and that guy that I like dated for like 2 months. And I'm like, I don't really want to keep this. Bye.
Sure. Yeah.
So I get rid of it from 13 years ago. But like, I'm not, when that finished and he ghosted me, I wasn't like, I got to get all of these pictures off my phone.
Delete.
Because I didn't
Red
think
alert.
about it then.
Sure.
The Instagram thing is interesting because I think it's weird when someone has every single photo of their ex on their Instagram, but I also think it's weird when they completely wipe them off the face of the earth.
I think I'm probably right in that.
So
wheelhouse,
I
yeah.
think you strike a balance, in my opinion.
Okay.
Again, this is my opinion. I think you can keep photos that are like have other people in them.
Okay.
Plus your ex, maybe you and your ex, but I think it's weird to still keep the photos that are like either like romantic declarations of love in the caption.
Yeah, like a wedding
or-
picture if you're divorced.
Yeah, if you're
maybe throw that
divorced,
off, yeah.
like makeouts, anything that looks really intense.
Okay. Or
But,
like happy second anniversary,
Right.
the
But if it's like
declarations of love,
you and your ex-girlfriend at like somebody's wedding and y'all are just like a couple like
Mhm.
in a picture, like whatever.
Yeah.
That's not gonna bother me. I do understand why people wipe their ex off. I get it.
Totally.
Like
Yeah, absolutely.
I totally get it. You don't want to be the person who's like got the like love you baby, like have the great 30th birthday and then you're dating someone else. That's
Mhm.
also weird.
Yeah.
I think you can strike a balance. I think for me that is like keeping the pictures or the reels or whatever, the carousels where they're in it, but also like your other friends are in
Yeah,
it or
the-
your family's in it or like
A
if it's
trip to
your
whatever with
brother's
your-
wedding and your ex-girlfriend was there and she's in photos, like you don't need to delete all the pictures of your brother's wedding.
Yeah,
Because she
totally
was
fair.
there. Unless she
Mhm.
cheated on you or like embezzled money from you or whatever it was
Yeah.
that she did that was horrifying. But I gotta know the context of this. Like, is it just on Instagram or did he like go through her phone and she's got just like millions of pictures of her ex and they're
Mhm.
like all looking lovey-dovey with each other? Like,
Yeah, there's context
But
here that
I
needs to
kind of
be,
I
but just
agree with you. It's like not worth getting worked up over. Like,
in a vacuum,
right.
it is not worth a fight, in my opinion. It's life, and if it's just a camera roll, and you have 2,000 pictures in there, it's like that's I'm okay with that. You're
Right.
fine with me with that. I don't know.
You
I don't
like
see the
the
big deal.
picture of you and your ex-girlfriend at like our company Christmas party, that's just like history. That's not like you're staring back at it and being like, I like
Correct.
love this person. Da, da, da. Like,
Yes.
so I just think it's there's gotta be context. I gotta know what like gotta know a little bit deeper. Like, does
Mhm.
it fall onto the like she's looking back on the, like her whole camera rolls like this dude, like she got a puppy and like it's just all
Mhm.
him?
Yeah.
Or is it just like a couple pictures here and there on our Instagram that he's just is like, kind of wish these weren't here?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's, I don't know. I'm generally of the be water, doesn't matter, doesn't unless something changes, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree.
Last one, Sal. Let's talk Thanksgiving.
Wow.
What are your go-tos, do's and don'ts, favorite sides, ways to handle family, etc., favorite parts, any traditions that y'all have?
Okay. So I'll start because I'm going to give you a rundown of how our
Hit me.
Thanksgiving is going to
Should
go.
I take notes?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
or you could just, we're recording this, so you could just listen
I
back.
could. I could. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. So the Jung family Thanksgiving, we eat dinner at 4.
Okay.
And
I love it.
I say we eat at 4. We really are going to eat at 5, but
Oh,
everyone is
okay.
going to pretend like we're going to eat at 4. I think that that is very specific to each family because some people do like a noon lunch.
Oh, we were 2 o'clock. I'm curious, Randy, were you early?
I think
Upper Midwest?
we were like a 3 o'clock.
2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And I
Yeah.
wonder if that's because of like daylight this time
No,
of year.
I think we've done 2 before.
Okay.
I think the bigger issue is like wrangling everyone and like we've got it. It just we've
Yeah.
slowly moved back. We've been 2, but that makes sense.
Okay.
Maybe doing it earlier because. But then like we
I
went
don't
for
know.
Will's family. I'm like almost certain we ate late. We had like a dinner.
Interesting. I think it's got to be, maybe it's not regional, but maybe it's family tradition based.
I also
Right.
think it gets pushed back the older you are with older family. Like when we were all kids, like it was much earlier because, nap times and all this stuff like
Right.
that. But
Yeah.
like now that babies coming back in, it's going earlier. But
Yeah, ours
Okay.
ours is also currently a product of nap times because like Fritz and Bane will
Mm.
be napping until 4.
Got it. Okay.
And honestly, if they nap through it, I kind of don't give a shit. It would probably be easier for me. Our Thanksgivings since I have left my parents' house. So
Mhm.
we will some people will run the turkey trot. My dad is definitely going to run it and then complain that his knees are throbbing like for 4 weeks. But
Mhm.
so that'll happen.
Okay.
There will be football on. Since I've married Will, we watch the Lions
Of course.
at 11. I like to. I'm usually the one cooking. This year, I will be bringing the potatoes that will have been cooked on Wednesday,
Sweet. Okay.
ready to be heated. I love cooking. I really love cooking Thanksgiving dinner.
Mhm.
Our like my tradition is usually cooking with my mom, having the parade or the dog show or whatever in the background, like having a drink, cooking.
There you go.
As a mother of 2, I don't want to do that anymore. It's too stressful to like mostly for me and Will because like I'm cooking, my children are having to be taken care of by Will. They want to be in the kitchen with me. It's just like too much.
There's a lot going on.
Doing the one dish.
Okay.
We have started splitting up the dishes between all of my siblings.
Mm-hmm.
Harry and Emily, oldest and youngest, do not cook.
Okay.
Because they're not good at it, and also because they complain a lot. So
Okay. Got it.
me, Natalie, Lily, and my mom take the brunt of it.
Sure.
I think Lily's doing cream corn.
I can't wait.
That's Lily's specialty. She does
Cannot
it in the
wait
crock
to
pot.
try the cream corn. I've heard a lot about this.
Yeah,
dish.
she's very proud of it. I am going to do potatoes. I have talked about this on the podcast before. We have our like specialty regional dish that like was my mom's growing up is some sort of like, it doesn't even have a name. It's like a
Mhm.
casserole. Some people will call it a hot dish. I think if you're from like Minnesota.
Sure.
Yeah. We just call it the broccoli cauliflower thing, and that's definitely not what it is. But
Okay.
it's broccoli,
Okay.
cauliflower, Brussels sprouts,
And just a bunch of cheese.
And you basically like parboil them. So we used to like steam. My mom used to do it in a big head of cauliflower, steam it, and then around in a roasting pan, keep the head of cauliflower together, and then do Brussels and broccoli like crowns and stuff. But now I like to like keep them in bite-sized pieces. So I break up so here's the recipe, you guys. Okay, listen up. You get 1 crown of cauliflower. You break that up into like florets that are bite-sized pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Do the same with 2 crowns of broccoli. Okay, again, break them into the smaller pieces. Bag of Brussels sprouts, cut those suckers in half. You're going to parboil everything. Parboil means like, I mean, you can also steam, but I like to parboil. Boil it for like a couple minutes, dunk that shit into ice water so that you keep some of the like crunchiness and you're not like going full mush. Then
Can't go full mush.
Yeah. Then you get a can of cream of celery, a can of cream of mushroom.
Okay.
The 2 creams. You mix those together in a bowl. You add a little bit of milk till it gets like a good consistency, a pourable consistency. Okay. You put all your veggies in a visually pleasing method into a roasting dish or like a casserole dish.
Love it.
Pour the sauce all over everything. Okay. Then you're going to top that with sharp cheddar fancy cheese.
There we go. Now we're cooking.
And then you do bacon bits. And you just stick that in the oven on like whatever your oven is, 350 for like 30 minutes. And then at the end, sorry, there's a crucial part I forgot here. The sauce, you put the cheddar cheese in the sauce. So it's can of cream of mushroom, can of cream of celery, a little bit of milk, cheddar cheese, and multiple green onions cut up.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
You pour that, and then you put some more cheddar cheese on top. That's
the
dish.
I like it. It's sort of a baked potato, but
veggieize
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I like where your head's at.
That's that dish. We are Southern call it dressing. If you're not stuffing the bird, that was always the we never stuffed our bird. Do you put stuffing in the bird?
We did when Grandpa was around.
Yeah,
he was a big super traditionalist. Stuffing was made out of like giblets and all like really real stuffing.
Yeah,
we had we pivoted to stovetop some time in the last decade.
We do a cornbread dressing.
Nice.
So in the South, it's a dressing if it's not stuffed in the bird. I think Will's dad, stuffs the bird. He does both.
He feels like our stuff.
He'll do both.
Guy. Yeah. Okay.
You're bringing our mac and cheese.
Oh, buddy.
We've only had mac and cheese a couple of times.
Yeah. It's
mac and cheese and green bean casserole are one of those. They both like them to be there, but they're like rotational dishes where someone's like, I'm going to do it this year.
Sure.
But I'm very excited for your mac and cheese.
Me too. It's something that started because I couldn't eat meat growing up.
Okay.
I wouldn't do turkey.
Yeah.
So my kids' table dish was always like a Kraft mac and cheese, just super easy.
Yeah.
I like the size and stuff, but that was kind of like a dish. And then it became, once I could eat, like a kind of a funny tradition.
Yeah.
And then my dad started making this mac and cheese that
he did a little elevated.
Yeah. Yeah. It went gourmet sometime in the summer of like 2007.
Okay.
Maybe probably earlier than like 2005.
And you're doing like a full roux and the shit.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's a homemade roux. It's my favorite thing I make.
Okay. I'm psyched.
And I do it literally like once a year.
Okay.
Thanksgiving specific because it's my dad's recipe.
Love it.
Dad's everything. And you're gonna get a taste of that.
I'm very excited. How many cheeses are we talking about?
4 cheese.
4 cheeses.
I will not disclose.
Okay. Secret cheeses.
Secret cheeses. I mean, you can probably like figure out.
And like breadcrumbs on the top, or
breadcrumbs on the top.
Okay.
Little panko situation.
Love that.
It eats extremely well hot.
Uh-huh.
Some say it eats better
cold.
I
think most Thanksgiving recipes do.
It can go either way. Do you guys do desserts?
Do we do desserts?
Just making sure here.
Inley's in charge of the pies this year.
Okay.
She was asking us earlier if she needed 3 or 4 pies. My mom said 5 minimum. So
I love that is Southern hospitality right there.
Normally, I think like my mom's like eyes are bigger than her stomach. So she's like, we got to get all the pies. And we have like so many pies. We have I think we're going to have a pumpkin. Pretty sure we're going to have a buttermilk,
Oh,
a
okay.
pecan, an apple, and maybe a coconut cream.
Sign me up. I will be a little sampler out there.
Emily's also bringing wine. Not sure what Harry's contributing. Harry
Okay.
has the luxury of being the youngest and the only boy, so like people don't expect a lot from
Harry's
him.
the store guy.
Yeah, he's the store
He's
run
the
guy.
store
He's
he's
the
the
store
store
run
run
guy.
guy, which I will gladly take up the mantle as Harry's, now
You
as
can be
his
the shotgun rider.
shotgun rider.
Yeah.
Harry and I
Just cruising HEB.
exactly.
What else? So one year when we had a bunch of guys, like, because it was before all of us were like married or in significant relationships, but like
Mhm.
I brought home one of my like dear friends from the ICU, because he couldn't go back to Connecticut. So like Rich came back with me. Emily had a boyfriend. Drew was dating Lily. Our cousin came, so they played a little football.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I think this year we'll have a good enough guy crew if everyone gets out there on time. But the problem now is because we have kids and dogs and stuff like that, people aren't getting out there and like chilling. We're just like showing
Gotcha.
up for dinner and getting the hell out.
Yeah, yeah. What time? What's my
We're
arrival
going at
looking like?
noon.
Noonish.
Yeah.
Okay. I won't be the first one there. I'll
No,
let the-
I already asked Harry if you wanted to ride with him.
Okay.
He said that's fine
Okay.
because you could ride with us, but there's going to be 2 car seats, and that's not a fun
I can drive.
ride.
It's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's just straight shot. Okay. I'm excited.
There'll be football on, obviously.
Sure.
College football probably over
Ole
the
Miss
NFL.
plays that night.
Oh, perfect. And Kim did
Kimmy,
go to
yep.
Ole Miss, yeah.
There you go.
And then the drinks are usually
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the alcohol? What can I bring outside of
we have water and iced tea
Okay.
always at the table. Then there'll be, I'm sure, red wine.
Beautiful.
And then I like to do like a specialty cocktails. I'll probably
Okay.
get
Okay.
some apple cider, do a little apple cider margarita.
Love that. Oh,
Mhm.
hell yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll bring a bottle
And
of wine.
probably drink some mimosas while we're just chilling. Bring a swimsuit. We're gonna
Chit-chatting.
hot tub.
Oh, okay. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Weather is important because one of my favorite things about Thanksgiving is the attire. I'm a
Yeah.
big sweater guy. Everybody knows that about me.
Yeah.
The beige, maroon, burgundy, burnt orange kind of colors that go into it. I'll be rocking some sort of oatmeal get
Okay.
up. We'll see. I'm excited. The traditions that we had. I mean, we were a very traditional Thanksgiving family, whether it
Right.
was Rochester or Saratoga. You have all the traditional sides. Big granny fest. Usually, if we were grandmas, there would be 30, 40 people there.
Yeah.
At our house, it would be 10 to 12, depending on the year. But yeah, it was.
Have you ever
pretty
fried a
standard.
turkey?
I have fried a turkey.
Okay.
Not personally, but I've witnessed a turkey frying. It does turn out fantastic.
I don't know. There was a couple of years, we probably will do it this year, where we make 2 birds because there's so
Oh.
many people. My mom likes to have leftovers.
Very
So
cool.
usually my mom roasts one and my dad fries one.
Oh, hell yeah.
I don't know if he's gonna fry it this year though.
Okay. I will
So we'll see.
withhold. I dive into a little bit of turkey because I never grew up with it. I eat it once a year,
Are
literally
y'all
once
ham
a year.
people? Do you have
Uh,
ham?
I don't think we ever had ham at Thanksgiving. Ham
Yeah.
would be like Christmas. We'd have a ham and a pot roast
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
thing. But Thanksgiving was pretty exclusively turkey. I don't love it. So I have my my couple pieces,
Yeah.
and then I'm good. Maybe I'll
Well,
make
the
a
sides are the
sandwich.
star of the
sides are
show.
the star of the show.
Yeah.
Especially with the mac and cheese. I mean, that's gonna fill you up. So I plan on
Randy,
bringing
what is the dish that y'all?
We're a sweet potato casserole family.
some yams
Okay,
with a
my mom
marshmallow
is
on
gonna
top?
make a sweet potato casserole. Only like 4 of us eat it.
Oh, it's
But like,
it's
is
our
it?
favorite thing that we do.
It's
There you
it's a sweet one though. Is it?
It's
Is
a
it?
sweet
Is
one.
it
It's
marshmallows on top
Yes,
or?
it's boiled. It's you do layers. It's boiled sweet potatoes. You cut them up in inch and a half circles, stack it, and then it's butter, brown sugar, marshmallows, and then like another layer of sweet potatoes, butter,
Oh,
brown
it's like a
sugar,
sweet
marshmallows.
potato
Yeah.
lasagna situation.
yeah.
So it's like
wow.
it's like a loaded sweet potato, and it's just so good. And then you just cook it and all that, and then all the makes like a kind of like goopy sauce at the bottom too. Once you get like all the
Yes.
yams and you can dip stuff into it, it's
See,
so good.
I love sweet potatoes, and I like making sweet potatoes at
Mhm.
Thanksgiving. But do you think they usually skew almost desserty, but you have that.
It's definitely more of a dessert thing.
But you have
it's
that on
the
your
side.
plate
Oh,
next to the stuffing
Oh yeah.
with like gravy next to it.
You dip your turkey in that.
Whoa.
We're actually not doing turkey this year because everyone's like, yeah, no one likes turkey, so we're just doing ham.
Wow.
Okay.
You guys are doing the Twitter take of turkey's mid.
But dragging a nice piece of ham through that's extra sweet
Okay,
potato stuff
yeah.
is
that
so
makes
good.
sense. That makes sense. But you don't have any like weird dishes that like your family makes that you're
No.
like, oh, I don't know where this came from.
That's mainly our biggest one we do. Everything else is like standard
Standard sides.
casserole,
Yeah.
crescent rolls.
What's your role on Thanksgiving, so to speak?
It's a crescent roll.
Dinner,
Is
yeah.
it crescent?
It's
Mhm.
the Pillsbury crescent rolls.
I meant that literally, and I also mean that from like I feel like you're the
What are you the
you're
store
the
guy?
fun, you're the fun uncle, right? You kind of take the kids away from the parents for a while.
Yeah, that and
That's
making the sweet potato casserole too.
Oh, okay.
That's your dish. Okay.
Yeah, that was like my dad's dish and my dish too, and then
Love it.
my older brothers
Ah,
too.
I
So
see.
that's what we'll really be focusing on. And then my sister-in-law is hosting, so she's going to be doing everything else.
She's got everything else. You've got the sweet
so
potato
I'll
casserole.
help where it needs to be. I'm not going to do dishes. I hate doing dishes.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
But like, if you need me to like put something in the oven, do other stuff.
Store run guy. Do you?
I could do it if
Okay.
I need to. I mean, I'm the only one without a kid, so like, I'm the
Maybe you
easiest
need to
one.
just make sure everyone's cocktails are flowing, you know?
Yeah.
You just pour the wine.
Ooh, maybe I should make a cocktail.
Ooh, a specialty cocktail.
Maybe I'll bring some of my mead.
Yeah.
You should. That'd be great.
Okay, I'm just remembering. Totally forgot. We do have a very weird dish that my mom makes.
Oh boy. Okay.
It's not a
I
dish.
feel like
it's
there's
just
so many dishes.
we
do
have
we have
like
room for my mac and cheese.
yes, but we have like probably 10 sides.
Holy cow.
My mom every year makes a fruit salad.
Okay.
Salad is a loose term. It
Okay.
is cans of mandarin oranges.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Okay.
Then you got coconut,
Mm-hmm.
crushed up pecans, marshmallows,
Okay.
all tossed with, I think it's sour cream.
Oh wow. We're doing like a fruit, like a parfait.
No, it
medley,
is like a full blown Midwestern salad situation. So
yes.
and it's pineapple. So it's mandarin orange and pineapple in cans and marshmallows. Then you toss that in and with coconut flakes.
Yep.
Like
Yeah,
the
like
real
the
the good
toasted
kinds. No. Like
Or just-
I'm talking like the
okay.
sugary kinds, not the like the
Okay.
new world like
Yeah. I
this
gotcha.
is like the old baking coconut.
It's kind of like an ambrosia salad.
Yeah. And then
Oh,
you
Randy
mix
pulling out
that
the
all up
ambrosia
and
salad.
then you put like pecans on top.
Oh my
And every year we're like, do we need this? My mom's like, Landon loves it. And so do I. I'm like, no one actually eats this thing, to be fair. And
You're gonna look over. I'm gonna have a giant plate full of
I
it.
mean,
just,
it is
just to be the
good.
good guest. I'm like, yeah,
it
that's
is
so
good. It has a place. Like my mom makes it every fucking year. And she like puts it in this glass bowl. And we're always like, do we need this much? She's like, I love it, Sally. Your niece loves it. I'm like, does she though? Does she?
Do we ask her?
Yeah. She did when she was 4. So maybe
And so-
Fritz and Bane will be into it.
As soon as she said that one time, it was like,
Yeah,
it was
we had to make it every
guaranteed.
year. But I think that was definitely from their family.
Okay.
That was
Interesting.
definitely like an Illinois thing that they have going on.
The Midwest. They put some dishes
I
together.
think that they use salad very loosely because
Yeah.
salad is like anything that's mixed with
Mayonnaise.
mayonnaise. In
Mayonnaise,
this
yeah.
case, it's sour cream, but like
Yeah.
that's what we're talking about. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
kind of congealed.
Oh yeah. Okay. I will try it.
Yeah,
Try
it's
it.
good.
Okay.
It's not bad. It's just again, I get weird. Like I want all my savory stuff on one plate and then like my sweet
Oh
stuff
yeah.
on another
I'm
plate.
totally with you. I don't mix sweet and savory. Give me savory,
Yeah.
crescent roll, dinner roll, whatever it might be. But then the dessert plate it'll be separate. Not because I don't mind the touching. It's just more of like
Yeah.
it's a course thing for me.
Yeah. I agree.
One of my low key favorite dishes is just the cylinder of cranberry sauce.
Yeah.
That's
Okay, so
good.
you're a canned person
Oh yeah.
and you just cut it into slices.
Oh yeah.
We had that too. Cranberries,
a real one.
take it or leave it for me. We had both. We had like a soupy cranberry and like the canned one. It's just fine. I don't need it.
Cranberry, I don't really care about on the day, has a great place in a Thanksgiving leftover sandwich as like a chutney situation.
That's I've certainly heard that. I get weird about leftover turkey and anyway, that's a meat problem.
Yeah.
That's a me problem. Well, I'm excited, Sal.
It's going to be a great time.
So excited. I will be bringing.
Maybe we'll post from the Instagram for the first time in months.
There you go.
From this Thanksgiving.
I'll be bringing some Shiner Cheer. That is my.
Oh, Harry's gonna love that.
Holiday beer of choice.
That's me and Harry's beer. We send each other a text every time we have our first one of the season.
Perfect. And yeah, so we'll keep an eye out. Maybe we'll just be chilling at the Young family house for Thanksgiving. I'm very excited. Thank you for the invite. And we are the Mail In Podcast. Please subscribe, rate 5 stars, review, and tell a friend about the show. Hit the hotline number 888-362-MAIL. That's 888-362-6245. Or, again, you can write into the link in the Twitter bio at Mail In Podcast. Sally, where can the people find you?
Sally deFries on Instagram and Twitter.
I am Brett Merriman at Merriman on both of those platforms. And we'll see y'all not next week, but the week after.
Week after. Bye.
Happy Thanksgiving.